resources. So till to the previous class of this chapter, we had caught up of the air and water pollutions and their harmful effects. And also along with that we covered about the mineral resources which will be present in the soil, mineral rich resources present in the soil. In today's class, we will start learning about biogeocycles. Now what is meant by this biogeocycles? Students, if you carefully observe, you can easily understand by the name itself. Biogeochemicals. See, bio, if we divide it into three, bio, geo and chemicals. We already know what is meant by bio. Bio is nothing but life. That means it will be related to living organisms. Living organisms. And geo means, here geo means gravity. Gravity in the sense earth. Okay. Gravity or earth. Whereas chemicals, we already know chemical substances. Okay. So, biogeocycle is nothing but it's a related to all the living organisms present on the earth and the chemical reaction taking place between these two. Now, if we define to this, then it will be what is biogeocycle means? It is a movement of chemical substances. So, it is a movement of chemical substances due to interaction between biotic and abiotic components of earth. So biogeocycle, it is a movement of chemical substances. So chemical substances will be moving. Why they are moving? Because of the interaction. It is a movement of chemical substances. So the chemical substances will be moving. Why? Because of the interaction between biotic and abiotic components of the earth. Now what is meant by this biotic and abiotic? Already I have explained here, bio means life, that means biotic. So it is a movement of chemicals due to the interaction between biotic component means between living organisms and abiotic components. Now here where can we find abiotic components? In the earth, in this geo, that means earth. So like water, air, wind and so on. Those are the abiotic components. Okay. Biotic component means all the living organisms, whereas abiotic components means non-living things, but they will be very much necessary for the living things. Okay. Like air, water, temperature, sunlight, rainfall, all these they will come under the abiotic components. So biogeochemical means it is a movement of chemicals due to the interaction between biotic and abiotic components. That means between living things and non-living physical factors of the earth. Now, these biogeocycles we can find in four ways. That means we can find in four main important cycles the interaction between these biotic and abiotic components. That is, first one is through water cycle, again nitrogen cycle, next carbon cycle and oxygen cycle. Now in today's class we will discuss about two cycles, that is water cycle and nitrogen cycle. So take out your explanation book and note down all the important points which will be being explained and listen it carefully.
Dear students, word biogeochemical, if you notice it carefully, it covers everything on earth. Are you still finding difficult to understand the name biogeochemical? Let me tell you. Bio suggests all the living organisms on earth. That is biotic component. Geo suggests all non-living part of earth like land, air, water. That is abiotic component. And chemical suggests different reactions occurring on earth. So, what is biogeochemical cycle? It is the movement of chemical substances due to interaction of biotic and abiotic components of earth. So let's start learning water cycle, evaporation and transpiration. Water from seas and oceans evaporates due to the heat of the sun. Water converts into vapors and reach high in the atmosphere. Excess of water from plants undergoes transpiration. That is, water is released out of plant body in the form of vapors. Condensation and precipitation. Vapors reaching high in the atmosphere undergo condensation and turns into water droplets. These water droplets collect together and makes a cloud. Clouds are also carried from one place to another due to air. When cloud become heavy, it fall down in the form of rain. In condition of lower temperature, precipitation occurs and water drops freeze. In such case, there occurs snowfall or hailstones. Absorption and percolation. Water falling on the ground get absorbed into ground. This water gets drained through the rocks and meets the groundwater. Water running off from the hills meets the flowing water. And the groundwater and flowing water somewhere meets the seas and oceans. This completes water cycle. In this way, water from sea and oceans returns back. Nitrogen cycle. Dear students, nitrogen occurs as 78% part of atmosphere. It is important part of life as it makes up proteins, nucleic acids, etc. The atmospheric nitrogen is difficult to use. Hence, there is necessity to fix this nitrogen in its useful form. Let's learn in detail about nitrogen cycle. Fixation. It is first step of nitrogen cycle in which free or elemental nitrogen is fixed by certain bacteria and is converted to ammonium. Nitrification. Bacteria then converts ammonium into nitrates. These nitrates are absorbed by the plants. Assimilation. It is a process through which plants absorbs nitrogen from the soil through roots. This nitrogen is used in amino acids, nucleic acids, etc. Ammonification. When plants and animals die, fungi and bacteria converts their nitrogen into ammonia and transfer it to nitrogen cycle. Denitrification. There are special bacteria that converts extra nitrogen from the soil into its elemental form and put them back in air. Other than bacteria, even atmospheric lightning allows the fixation of nitrogen to some extent by forming oxides of nitrogen in air.
And that's our today's class. The further content, that is about the carbon cycle and oxygen cycle, that we shall continue in the next class. Thank you.